Mm.
So I'm not filming you. I'm not recording you. I just want to know what the general feel of people is. Maybe I should, like I say, I should go back and record. I'm sure some of them would be happy to be recorded as long as their face and identity wasn't given away. So that's perhaps the next step.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just have that conversation. So how does it feel? Ask them what animals go through the place they're working at and how they feel about it, what kind of response they get from the animal. It just confirms what I already know, really. Because I've always said there are 4 ways an animal behaves when they're about to, meet their demise, and they just confirm what I already do. I know. I don't know if you want to hear them 4 ways because
Please.
okay. So the number one way that an animal responds in a slaughterhouse is with fear. So they will try and hide. They will shrink away. They will show behaviours consistent with fear. So there'll be tears and bleating sounds, the kind of vocalizations that I won't try and anthropomorphize any animal, but if you can match the physical behavior, the shaking or hiding with the tears, then I would say it's fair to say that that animal is scared. So that's the number one way. The number 2 way is flight. So they'll try and run away, they'll try and wriggle away, they'll try and escape, squirm out of your hands, try and get back away from the bolt gun in a cow's case, or that is the second most common response. The third, very much less frequent response is to fight. So you might have a lamb try and butt you, cow try and kick you, a pig try and bite you, that kind of thing. Chickens and turkeys behave slightly differently. They might try and peck you or whatever, but they're far more likely to try and just escape, to be honest. But they're the three primary ways that an animal responds. And Keely will know this if she's still on here, because I mentioned it at the Q&A at the film the other day. So the 4th way, which is very, very, very rare, I've only seen it a handful of times, is when they bring a down dairy cow into the slaughterhouse yard. And the cow is unable to be dragged into the slaughterhouse, into the box, to be killed the regular way. So you go, I'm sorry, I'm using language I probably isn't TikTok friendly, sorry, I just recognise that, sorry. So when you go outside into the yard to do what you need to do, the cow has literally glazed over in the eyes. It's like they've given up. I mean, bear in mind they've had probably 4 or 5 pregnancies, and almost invariably they're in the slaughterhouse with a calf inside them, because obviously to a dairy farmer they're no good to them unless they're pregnant or have just given birth. So they want them producing milk. So the amount of times we've opened up a cow and seen a calf spill out of the guts is countless. But anyway, back to the down dairy cow. So you can hold their head back to show them the knife to the throat, and it's like no noise, no eyes just glazed over, and that is very, very, very rare. Even in some down dairy cows, they still try and escape, but very occasionally you'll see one that's just given up, and knowing their life cycle, I can't blame them. So they're
So
the
you
ones.
see full submission at that point.
Yes, that's the nearest thing to a humane death I've ever seen in a slaughterhouse.
Do you mind? I should have asked your permission first, but I sort of wrote down the things that you were saying in those stages. Do you mind that I sort of wrote that down?
No, that's fine, yeah. I mean, it's all about education and sharing experience and knowledge, so I'm quite happy for that. That's out there on my socials anyway. I've said that quite a few times in different talks.